Harry's Wife, Part 101.95, The Errors of the Ignorant. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. In the past, in other videos, I've spoken about what I call the errors of the ignorant. The fact that there are many people who do not know about nor understand narcissism or narcissists. This causes them to look upon certain situations and, to put it bluntly, get it terribly wrong. Often these individuals are in a position of influence or power. For instance, they may well be well-known television personalities that operate supposed shows that are there to help people resolve their relationship difficulties, overcome problems, etc. Invariably, it's a form of the Victorian freak show, having people with the lure of a little bit of money and a night in a hotel getting pissed up to then parade themselves on national television, making a show of themselves as everybody reacts with mock horror to their behaviours and lifestyle. And then some trite observations are made about their behaviours and how perhaps they can be resolved, all done to the various booing, cheering and heckling that comes from those watching. It can manifest in various magazines, online sites where supposed relationship gurus and agony aunts and relationship counsellors talk about the nature of a person's relationship with another and seeks to guide them in continuing a harmonious situation or overcoming conflict. So many times I have seen these sites and have seen the classic narcissistic dynamic being reported on, and the individual offering the advice doesn't spot it, gets it hopelessly wrong, and then, of course, offers assistance and help which only makes the situation far worse. That's why it's so important for not only those that become versed in narcissism to access my work, but for it to be spread amongst those who are generally looking at relationship difficulties without their first thought being, is this a narcissist? Indeed, next to nobody immediately looks upon the poor behaviour and thinks, I could be dealing with a narcissist here. They search for things such as, why does he keep cheating on me? Why is she so moody? Why doesn't he respond to my text messages? Why is she up and down? Why does he blow hot and cold? Why have I been ghosted and such like? And then eventually those individuals may happen upon material about narcissism, and if they're fortunate enough, they will find my work. This is a part of the reason why the Harry's Wife series is so important, that it enables people ordinarily might not be looking upon their relationship or in an intimate way or their familial relationship without and thinking about what's actually going on. They're interested in the dynamic between Harry's wife and other people, and then, as they listen to what I talk about, they realise, and this has happened many times, wait a moment, this is what I'm experiencing in my relationship, and thus the light bulbs come on. This educating and insightful work, however, faces the difficulty of those who fail to see narcissism and keep talking about it being something else, whether it's talking about her being high maintenance or him having an anger management issue, and therefore euphemising the behaviours, oh, he just has a commitment issue, or she's just highly strung, when in actual fact the behaviours tick all of the boxes to confirm that there is a narcissist and their victim. Often this, of course, is in relation to situations of conflict, but it can also work with regard to people failing to see what's really going on when they're witnessing a golden period. And this leads us to Tyler Perry. An article by the Mail Online, written by Lillian Gisson, tells us, it was a very difficult time for them. Tyler Perry reveals why he let Prince Harry and Harry's wife stay in his $18 million Beverly Hills mansion, saying he was moved by their amazing love and wanted to support them. Now, of course, Harry indeed loves her. She gives the appearance of love, but as a narcissist is incapable of it because she has no emotional empathy. Take it from me, I can do a very good impression of somebody who loves somebody, but there is not a loving ounce within my frame. Tyler Perry has revealed why he offered up his $18 million Beverly Hills home to Prince Harry and Harry's wife to use as their personal residence after they quit the monarchy and moved to the United States 2 years ago. Back in 2020, after the Duke and Duchess of Sussex announced that they were saying goodbye to their royal duties and relocating to California, the couple, along with their then 1-year-old son Archie, spent a few months living in Tyler's Beverly Hills mansion before they went on to purchase their own sprawling $14.65 million estate in Monticello, California. Note, this is bringing up the past. Why do we need to hear from Tyler Perry now, some 2 years after the event? It is, of course, him being wheeled out as a member of the coterie, though his intentions are honest and well-placed, in order to talk about the gruesome twosome for the purposes of making it look like this is a decent couple who are unfortunately misunderstood and under siege. Therefore, he's rolled out to operate by proxy on behalf of Harry's wife to bring up the past. Now the actor, comedian and producer, 53, has explained why he offered help to the couple, insisting that it was a very difficult time for them and that he wanted to support them in any way possible. The filmmaker added that he was inspired by Harry and Harry's wife's love, telling the Today Show, "What I know about the two of them, and I wish the world knew, how much these two people love each other." And Mr. Perry, of course, honest though his intentions are, completely fails to see what's going on, because the love only flows in one direction. They found each other. Out of all these odds against them finding each other, they found each other. Immediately this sets the scene of making it look like some amazing romantic event, which, of course, how often might you hear the narcissist say, "We found one another against all odds. Isn't it a miracle? It's amazing that you and I, roaming the earth, were somehow drawn to one another and have found contentment and happiness." This is the romantic notion of love that is invariably created by our kind, that bleeds into the mainstream, that permeates film, book, poetry, art, to cause you to think that it's somehow normal for people to talk and think this way. Now, there is nothing wrong with romance per se, so long as it's coming from a healthy individual, and that means it's used sparingly. You're not deluged by it. There isn't a blitzkrieg. There isn't these wild pronouncements. And so, consequently, there is the provision of some flowers and a card on Valentine's Day, maybe some flowers on a couple of times throughout the year, the occasional remark that's made about how much they love them, a gift here and there. But most people, if they were entirely honest, would recognise that they would prefer to have a stable relationship where they were supported, respected, listened to, not abused, as opposed to receiving flowers and gifts and nights out. But of course, it's harder for someone to maintain doing all of that when they have no emotional empathy. And therefore, to blind you, to distract you, to give you that blinding golden period, we shower you with all of the wild pronouncements of love. We shower you with gifts, flattering you, complimenting you, taking you to exciting places, perhaps introducing you to friends and family very early on, talking about you in glowing terms, and it feels oh so wonderful, but you're just being woven into our illusion. And of course, not only you as the prime victim of the narcissist caught up by this, but also bystanders. Bystanders can often find themselves drawn in by it too, thinking, what a perfect couple these two are. Isn't it amazing how they found one another against all odds, as Mr. Perry has described? He continued by saying, "The love they have is really, really moving, and I wanted to do anything I could to support them." He added of Harry's wife and Harry's relationship, "If I don't have that, what she and Harry have, I don't want it. That's really amazing." Well, if you truly knew what was going on, Mr. Perry, you'd be rather pleased that you don't have it. During a recent interview with The Cut, Meghan, Harry's wife, 41, spoke out about her bond with Tyler, explaining that he got in touch with her after she first wed Harry, 38, in 2018. She explained that he told her that he was praying for her and that he understood the intense pressure she was under. According to Harry's wife, Tyler also told her that if ever she needed advice, she could reach out to him, so she did. She soon began to open up to him about her struggles, pity play, and the two grew close, despite them never even meeting in person. How can you grow close with somebody that you've not met in person? And of course, this is the magical thinking of Harry's wife as she hoovers Tyler Perry in to assert control over him through pity play. He responds in a favourable manner, demonstrating that he's under control, providing fuel and, of course, the considerable residual benefits. Sometimes you can tell your life story to a stranger on a plane as opposed to some of the people that are closest to you, she told The Cut. A typical comment of a narcissist, being done, of course, through the lack of boundary recognition and there being no emotional empathy for talking to a poor stranger who just wants to read the in-flight magazine and listen to their music rather than have you blethering on about your life. According to the outlet, Tyler offering his home to the pair became in many ways the reason that Harry's wife and Harry started their new life in Southern California. The 8-bedroom Tuscan-style villa, which Tyler purchased in 2004 for $4.3 million, sits on 22 acres of land and comes with 24,000 square feet of living space. And while it was certainly generous of Tyler, who has a reported net worth of $1 billion, to provide the royals with a place to stay, he was definitely not left with nowhere to go, thanks to the fact that he owns many other properties. It then talks about his real estate portfolio, which we don't need to know about. After Harry's wife and Harry purchased their own house, a sprawling mansion in Monte Shitshow that is located just a stone's throw from home of another celebrity pal, Oprah, Tyler sent them a generous housewarming gift, a grand piano with a note that read, "Write the soundtrack for your life." And when Harry's wife's birthday rolled around last month, the Medea star shared a sweet tribute to her on Instagram. "I've had a front row seat in your life for the past few years. I've watched you endure things that would have broken a lot of people," he gushed. "I'm so incredibly proud to see how happy you, your husband, and your kids are now." Tyler's latest comments about the couple come shortly after it was claimed that the late Queen was left hurt and exhausted by Harry's wife and Harry's decision to quit their royal duties with a new book. The new royal suggesting that Her Majesty was also disappointed that she didn't see more of her great-grandchildren Archie and Lilibet. And of course, this article about what had happened in 2020, and of course the necessity of getting Tyler Perry to go on a programme and talk about his generosity, is all part of the management of the facade and nullifying the threat to control posed by the various criticisms that have been launched at Harry's wife recently. It is her fighting back through an individual who is a member of the coterie and who is quite unable to see what she truly is. This, of course, is quite common for coterie members because they are invariably not subjected to devaluing behaviours themselves, because they form an important part of the facade, and therefore the narcissism recognises this, but also the individual is not with the narcissist enough to threaten control sufficiently to result in malign behaviours taking place, nor are they with the narcissist enough for their stale to run fuel, again inviting devaluing behaviour. So someone such as Tyler Perry, who is a non-intimate secondary source who occupies this position within the fuel matrix, will be treated well, and of course he is then utilised in this fashion for the purposes of facade management through bringing up the past, demonstrating the residual benefit that he provided, and allowing or seeking the nullification of the threat to control posed by recent criticisms. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.